Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to FortressCraft Evolved. I'm Axon Evolved, and we are back here in the world. But before I get started, if you're not subscribed to this channel, hit that subscribe button so you see every time I upload a new episode, a new series, a new video. It just keeps you up to date, make things easy, shows me some love. It's just good all around. So with that said, let's hop right in. Now, I've done a little bit of work in between episodes because there's a lot of little administrative stuff, little tiny things that need to get done that are really boring to watch. But let me kind of take you guys around and show you what we've done, what we still need to do. So last episode, we just decked out some towers. They have so many lasers, it's ridiculous. And I will tell you, spoiler alert, they do work. This can hold, one of these towers can hold off a pretty good sized assault, including bosses. So I'm real happy to see that. However, take a look at this charge here down at the bottom left. We used so much power. So much power. It's actually kind of ridiculous. So what I've been doing a little bit in between episodes, I'm getting the foundations ready to start outfitting the rest of the towers. Now, my bottleneck is the alloyed machine blocks. I'm just not making them fast enough. And our Mark III batteries need them. Our Mark III lasers need them. And on top of that, we need to figure out a way to get more power to these towers, which I've been working on also. Because you can see, well, that one's full, so that's good. But I've done this. I've at least made an outline for every single tower. So if it didn't have lasers on it or batteries before, it's got like at least the outlines of one. You can see here. This battery was actually, we actually ran this battery out because we were just getting attacks constantly. I got like four attacks all right here. So that's done, but you might notice something a little bit over here. So let's go take a look. I put some holes in the wall here because I remember we talked last episode that I think I'm going to make an OET charging area right here. So I cleared some land out, put some stuff down. And you'll notice here, this is a 9x9 grid. This is going to be where the OET is, I've decided. I got it nice and centered right on this wall. So this is going to be where the OET lives. And I'm extending out some of these walls over here. Maybe I'll put another little tower, another tower somewhere out in this direction, another one there, and I'll connect them. And they'll look nice, but they won't really function as anything. They're just kind of there for decoration. Now, OET. There's a lot that goes with it. It's about 9x9. It's like 13 units tall. And it takes a ton of power. So, we are going to need to build a huge array of turbines. And there's a couple ways to do this. We can do a setup where we kind of sandwich the turbines on all four sides and go up, which I think is fine. It's functional, but I almost like the idea of maybe lining them all up, lining up a bunch of turbines back here in this area, and then just shooting lasers into the OET itself to charge it that way. So that's kind of something we're gonna figure out. Now let's look at some recipes real quick. So, OET, I don't remember where it is. Are you here? Orbital. There we go. Okay. Orbital energy transmitter component. Takes a ton of stuff. Liquid resin, experimental pod, one of each pod, and a refined liquid resin. You see there, we need over 1,000. 1,000 total pieces, and each one makes one at a time. So, we're going to need, we got enough liquid resin, that's fine. Experimental pods are crafting, so I'm grabbing them every so often. You see I have 200 on me. So it's just one of these things that in time needs, just more and more stuff to build up. We're not producing at a level where we can just, get this with ease. It's going to take time. And then we're going to need another 128 for this thing. This is the actual controller, right? So the way this works is once you have this built, you see it's a 9x9x13. Once you have this built, you got to charge it up. When you're in the middle of charging, it takes just a shit ton of power, like so much power to build up. And then while it's charging, you get attacked from everywhere that has a hive mind in it. So we've got to basically be able to defend from that. So that's kind of the reason why we're getting all these lasers and the missiles and all that stuff done up. So that's the plan for this area. The other part is, if we're going to put a bunch of turbines over there, if we're going to fill that area with turbines, we need to make sure we get fuel over there. So I'm going to need a whole separate branch of this. And I'm tempted to piggyback off of what we have underground for these ones right here, right? So if I go down here, and I thought I had an entrance down here somewhere. So if I go down here, kind of squeeze over here, right? This is the kind of the main distribution hub for this whole system, right? It shoots out full ones and returns in empties. So I think what I'm going to do, and this is all controlled by priority splitters, right? So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a priority splitter somewhere in this area. Or actually, maybe I'll do it up here. Essentially what I need to do is I want to potentially matter move full canisters along the wall to where the turbines are going to be. So they'll come somewhere under here. You know, we got a ton of empty space down there. You know, under that level, we can kind of come over. And, you know, it's got to make its way over here. And eventually hit the turbine wall over here. So we need to get full fuel canisters over here. Empties back. To keep that system going and keep the power flowing. And one of the ways we're going to kind of help with that, if we look at our lenses, I don't know if I have any of these on me. Let me clear that. If I look at the lenses, right? Exceptional organic lens, 250%. So we know that with one of these lenses, we boost the normal Mark III laser energy transmitter from 320 to 640, right? But with another lens, let me go down there and grab some material. So if I grab some of these massive faceted eyes, right? And I come down here and I make an exceptional organic lens. Just one. You know, we only need one. We're not super greedy, you know. We're experimenting. We're just kind of seeing how things go, right? So if I throw this down, boom, 320. I'm going to throw in, wherever it may be, exceptional organic lens. 1120 power per second. Now, our turbines take, I think they create 1800 power per second. So what we're going to end up doing is I'm going to throw 2 of those on there per turbine and route them over to wherever the OET is. And that should be enough. It'll be drawing out more power than the turbines are creating, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. Little funny thing we had to do here. All right, so, okay, so the solar panels work like I thought. I just didn't realize that you can't have the glass. So you only need the one tile directly above the solar panel to have clear sky for it to collect. So I have this open over here, mostly just to let the slimes that are up on this level fall down also, because they'll be attracted up here. I've already seen some up here, so I just made the hole so they'll fall in no problem. So that's how that's working. You're still collecting. Perfect. Oh, but you got a full battery, so you're fine. And you're fine. See, look, slime's still going in. Our little overflow collection system is working wonders as I've been doing stuff. It just picks up all the stuff. And anything extra that comes out, we just pick it up. No problem. So, we have the OET to look forward to. Like I said, that's going to be something. We can do all of the infrastructure for it, meaning we can build the turbines, we could build the OET itself. And as long as we don't start charging it, right? This is 9x9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So I need to put another layer in there. No problem. Now, once the OET charges, once it's built, once we get the turbines, we can just leave it in place and not put the lasers on it until our towers are ready. But speaking of towers, here is another expensive thing that we've got going on. So if we go down here, I've done a little bit of work. You'll notice here, the way we have everything set up is we got 2 Mark IV batteries, with just some lasers transmitting, right? Well, to me, that just sucks. That's not good enough. So what I'm going to do, I've made a couple. I think I only have enough for one. Yeah. So I have one Mark V battery component right here. And I realize like that this is not a big face. You're not able to get a lot of power in there like that. But this bottom face right here is humongous. So what I want to do, I'm going to take this out, open this up all the way around, and replace it with a Mark V battery. And that way I figure there'll be plenty of lasers around that we can have the lasers come off in another place. They don't have to necessarily be right on top. And we can hit this bottom face. And so I've made these holes under every Mark V battery because I'm not sure, you know, like I can't really run lasers down here. So it's going to have to be on the surface up here. And that's a decision I'm going to have to figure out for each one of these. So what I'm going to do is, I guess this one's as good as any to start this process. So I'm going to dismantle this and rerun the lasers so that we have that all situated. So I'm going to do that now, and I'll bring you guys back so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So there is a Mark V battery, and look at all of this surface area we have. Now, this is being powered by 2 turbines, right? So these do what, 3,600 power per second combined? That's not a lot. You know it, I know it, we all know it. So what might have to happen in order to keep this system charging somewhat efficiently is I might have to add another series of, you know, like another 2 turbines and just have lasers going into the side there. I think that's probably going to be the most efficient way of doing things. And another nice thing that came from this is we just got rid of 2 Mark IV batteries, and the Mark V battery takes 9 Mark IV batteries. So that we're kind of recycling some resources. Once I get rid of every Mark IV battery in these systems, that's almost 1 full Mark V battery. So there's a little bit there, a little bit of recycling going on, but not enough. Let's be honest, not enough. So I think for this one, I think I'm just going to do this on the ground, right? It's just so much easier. I don't have to think about it. It just kind of happens, right? But there's going to be this array of lasers here, and all they need to do is go up. So we close this off. We'll throw down some glass, you know, right on this level. And then another piece of glass. And then boom, done, easy. Now all we do is we just go up. And so now this battery is getting way more power input than it was getting with just the 3 lasers with lenses. Because now we have 5 times 3 or 10 times 320, so it's 3,200. So this is essentially transmitting both of those batteries, or both of the turbines worth of output, and then a little. And what's nice about this, if we need to put more batteries down below, or more turbines to increase our power production, then we do that. We put more turbines down, and we'll just put more lasers. There's enough space for 25 lasers, plus, you know, another 20, right? So I could hypothetically do like 45 lasers in a really weird way, but I could do it per battery. So I'm going to repeat that process right over here. All right, just like that, we've got 2 Mark V batteries being powered off another Mark V battery that has a couple turbines down below. Now, I already see, I think these are pretty full. Yeah, so the turbines down below are at least filling this up, but this is a good way to really back up our power, right? So the lasers up top, if you don't remember, even though I just showed them earlier, so you should remember. The lasers up top are all on a Mark III battery. Each one of these Mark III batteries is 5,000. So the lasers have to deplete the battery bank, well, really the battery bank, then deplete the Mark V battery, and then deplete the backup Mark V battery that's, you know, midway between them. So like right here-ish. It's just a lot more power, you know? It's what, 6.75 million power, I think. And so this is a process I need to repeat for every single tower, including filling up the battery banks. Like this is the priority is these, filling up these batteries, then the lasers, or the Mark III lasers, the actual lasers that do damage, then the Mark V battery down below, and then more turbines to keep everything up. So I've already seen that with enough power, this amount of lasers can sustain during a wave. The only limit is its power. So if we have enough power generation, you can kind of see over here, we're getting attacked over here, and you can see just ridiculous amounts of damage going off. You know, if I shoot these, if they're red, that means they're almost dead. If it's green, that means they're not almost dead. But look how quick that's going down. You can see the color, like that's about to die. But the problem is, if we look, all these enemies, look at all these. And this is a small wave. I've essentially been getting, there's a spawner right there. I've been getting waves like these back to back to back to back on the same side, and it just drains the battery. That's the problem. We're not keeping up with the power generation. But if I feel like if I have that spread out over at least 2 batteries with one battery backing them up down below, like you see, that's out of power. What's this battery at? 1.6 million, so that's running low on power. But they're doing work. They are getting the job done, let me tell you. And then we have our little last line of defense. And then we have our missiles. Or we will have our missiles once we distribute them. And still, I'm still kind of brainstorming on that matter. I want to get the lasers up so we at least have some kind of relief from the attacks. But even though we have 6 million missiles right, or 6,000 missiles right now, I feel like we'll still go through them pretty quick because these are not, the missiles don't discriminate against launch speed. And I have a bunch of launchers, so we got, one of the options is we don't launch as many. We don't use as many launchers because what I have, 6 launchers. Yeah, 6 launchers times 8, so 48 launchers. So that's one option, is limit how often they can launch. But we'll kind of have to see how that goes. And along with that, I've had to let me show you guys. If you weren't here or you don't remember, earlier when I was setting up this system, we have this very key gold wire production right here that goes into making the basic missiles. Well, initially that was supposed to be supplemented by our quarry, grabbing whatever it could. And man, this is backing up. Just take a look at this. These are all full of iron ore, so we are just not using it quick enough, to be honest. So I wonder if I could do something like this. In fact, I don't know if I'm going to like this, but I'm going to do it. We're going to just make the loop of what the hell. So I do something like that, and then something like that. Can I macerate those bars? So we haven't got any gold from the quarry yet because the quarry is not deep enough to get gold. The quarry is only down to... Well, the quarry's not down deep enough. Oh, there's some gold right there. Look at that. We should see... There we go. So what I did was I supplemented this line with our gold production that was going into our research pod maker. So since I've had to turn the research pod maker back on, we go in here and look at the T2 research pods. This is where I was siphoning off right here, but now everything looks to be backed up because the hoppers up there are full. So what I can do, well, I don't know. We're not making missiles right now, so I'm not going to turn that back on. But essentially, if I start using missiles, I'm going to start using up my gold wire, and the gold wire is not going to be refilled. I've only got, 300 plus another 100 or so. So it's just not a lot. And this seems to be working out fairly well. We're really just kind of using this to get through the backlog here. because we got a ton of stuff. So I got to remember, I got to remember not to, or to cut that off at some point, because once we start using missiles again, we're gonna need all that backup, right? But it looks like we've hit a huge iron vein, a bunch of coal, and we are at about locked or full hoppers. So that's doing that. So anyway, gold turned off over there. We need it over there. So I'm not quite ready to turn the missiles on, which further shows how much we need those lasers up. And the bottleneck for all those, I'll go ahead and show you guys. Oh yeah, see, like this thing's getting some work, but oh, it looks like it's filling up faster than it's consuming, so that's nice. I think the attack's over, so that must be consuming into the Mark III batteries on top of the laser before it'll start filling up the actual battery itself. So if we go back to our tier 2 crafting room over here, we see this is the holdup right here. I've got, and really it's this. The gold bars flowing fast enough, that's not a problem. But these hardened machine blocks, I have 2 crafters going. They just don't make them fast enough. You know, I have a whole bunch right here, but these get used for, if we look at the recipes here, these get used for, oh, these are advanced machine blocks. What do I use hardened for? I feel like I was using hardened at some point. I know I need them for something, I just don't know what off the top of my head. But the hardened machine blocks, I think they take 16, let me see. Oh, I guess they go pretty quick. They're just not crafting fast enough. And I don't have the throughput to make them super duper fast. So we're kind of just stuck, you know, getting some every so often. I might need to just leave the game going, maybe put like a huge hopper, like a 2000 slot. Do I have one. Where can I put you? Do something like that, right? I might just need to keep the game running and just fill that up with the alloyed machine blocks, because that's the bottleneck. Everything seems to use that, and you know, maybe it's worth looking at our. Actually, let's look at our production, because well, we're plenty full over here. It mostly uses nickel. Well, I guess it kind of actually uses everything. How are we looking over here? Do we have any full hoppers? So that's full. That's full. How's our nickel? That's full. So, I mean, maybe we could... I think that's not being used. Maybe we could expand on this a little bit. Because if the bottleneck... I haven't... Is this output not being used at all? Sorry, I keep going back and forth in the rooms. Okay, so... I have a potential another output that's just not being used, right? For anything, really. We can shift that one as well. Let me see here. So I can go through, go back into this room. I'm gonna have to do a whole nother input, but I think I can just stack right on top of these exact machines. So it looks like gold, nickel, and titanium. So it just needs raw bars. Raw bars get everything done. But if I double this up, I can have these share. Have that share. Give me that. Have that share. Yeah, so nickel and titanium with gold just over here. Okay, so I think that's what I'm going to do. In fact, maybe I'll just do that real quick. Yeah, let me get this stuff ran, and then I'll hook it up and I'll bring you guys back. I wasn't planning on doing that, but it kind of seems like we need to. So let me see what I need for all these machines, and then we'll come back. Okay, so something I have to take into account that I didn't is power. They need 15 power per second, which is not a lot. It's not a lot at all, but I need to put that somewhere. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to do this. I'm going to put... Oh, damn. I want to put a battery. I've only got so many batteries, right? So I want to put a battery right here and have it get filled up. Oh, that's not going to work either. I wanted to just stack these right on top of each other, but I don't think that's going to work. So then my next thought was, okay, we'll have a battery in between. And as I'm doing my rounds, I noticed we've run out of lithium. So I'm wondering if the mine is out. Because I was looking at Spider Bro and he was not getting powered up. So now I need to investigate this lithium. What is going on down here? Are we out? Oh, we are. Now this is a huge lithium vein. Iron, iron, iron. Alright, so we need to find another lithium and we need to find it ASAP. So unfortunately this episode is going to have to take a quick pivot to go find more lithium, and I'm wondering if there's some over here. I don't know if we're down deep enough for lithium. Let me take a look. Lithium is blue, I think. What does it say? Tin, coal, iron. Where, oh where? I know I have tons of iron, so I'm not too worried about that. We had iron there. So lithium was down here. So if we go down into kind of where everything is for the lithium, let's see if we can't find something. Alright, so we are directly below our current lithium mine. And there's some right there, but it's only 900,000. So this is the lithium mine right here. Now it's not super difficult to get down there. I just have to move everything. So I'm going to do that right now. Get that set up and get it set going back up to the surface. So I'm going to do that. And then I will bring you guys back and show you how everything's going. Alright guys, so you can see I had a little mishap. No big deal. We got it figured out. We're still alive. So pretty basic setup. I just kind of rerouted the power. Let me make it so I can get out of here. I just rerouted the power. We had a huge copper vein right here in the middle. So scooch the power over. It comes down the wall here and just kind of impacts into the lithium. We've got a battery. We've got two miners, output, pipe, easy. This pipe goes all the way back up to the elevator or the lift. So that should all be doing its thing again. See, there you go. Do I have motors on me? Did I pick up motors? I did. Okay, so let me I'm gonna throw some motors on those to kind of make it fast, but I want it to be efficient, right? So motors definitely help. How high can I go? All right, well that's good enough. I don't need anything too crazy. But now that we've got that fixed, I'll meet you guys back at the surface. All right, you guys, I promised I would get this stuff going. So here I am about to deliver. So I have, apparently my base getting destroyed, but I hooked up all these extra lines. That one looks like it's running low. Wonder what that's to. But anyway, hooked up extra lines of stuff. And let me show you what I kind of came up with. Now, before we get started, do not judge me, okay? I'm making it work. Here's the addition that I threw on here. So, the gist is simple. We've got power. It's going into this battery bank. To the left, under these batteries, right? Let me get rid of this glass. So right there and right there are the original hard machine block assemblers. But if you just go up and to the left, I've added two more sets, or two more hard machine block assemblers. Now those are drawing the nickel from down below. The way the bottom set work is they split a titanium hopper that's right there in the middle between them. So what I did is I just took that extra titanium line that I ran, and I'm running it on top. I haven't connected it yet, so we can all watch it happen, hopefully. That's running up top and splitting in between the two lines. Now, will that split? I don't know. Maybe I should put a turntable. In fact, let me just put a turntable so that way there's no issues, right? Do I have one on me? I am that big brain. Throw a turntable down. I don't know if it'll work. Let's hope it works. But anyway, that'll split the titanium. So now the assembler can grab the titanium from the top, nickel from the bottom, output to this hopper, which is, no, I don't actually want that. I need hoppers. What am I doing? See, I'm glad I went through this with you guys. Otherwise, I would have messed that up. Let me use a small hopper. And it'll be add only. And that'll be add only. Now, there's no other belts pulling from it, right? Good, good, good. Okay. So, that'll output to there. This will output to here. Let me put like a normal looking belt. Those will go that way, down, and everything will go into here. The thing is, I don't think I can get that any faster. Even with 2 of them, I don't think it's going to go that much faster. So the problem that I'm running into with this not being able to run as fast as possible, that I'm not getting the 16, you know, like it's idle, idle, idle while it's waiting to fill up. Boom, now it goes. So this should at least help that process go faster. And if I find that I'm building these up too fast and I can take one away, blah, 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 easy peasy. Okay, enough jibber jabbing. Let's actually hook this up. And we've got 16 in there before 1 is done. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is moving plenty quick. And it's going to back up. So if I'm big braining, right, thinking ahead, how am I going to get this set up to use 2 potentially, right? Well, the way I would do that is probably... Well, okay, so if I run 2 alloyed machine block assemblers, we've already seen that 2 hardened machine block assemblers don't produce fast enough. So then the question is, well, if I run 2 at less than optimal efficiency, like, yeah, technically I guess it's faster, but it's still not running optimally, right? So I don't know if there is a faster way. I'd probably want to do something where I put like I don't know, like a power block here, another assembler here, and maybe run these in here. In fact, you know what? I'm just going to do it, guys. I've talked myself into it. You guys talked me into it. You're not even saying anything, but you talked me into it. So it's too late now. We're going to do it. Alloyed block assembler. Cool. All right, so this is the solution we came up with. So these are going to output straight. I don't know why. I'm just doing it. I could put a hopper. It's whatever. Output straight, come over here into this hopper. I threw another hopper on the side. It comes out. It outputs there, right? Okay, apparently we're low on nickel, but that's fine. When it finally does, it'll output there into this hopper, which gold, boom, boom, doing its thing, and now we've got 200. And also, for some reason, I've got this error here. It's telling me that it's missing a block, and I don't know why. I didn't do anything over here that I know of. And if I put a block down, it just tells me I got to keep going up. So I don't know what happened. I'm going to investigate that a little bit more, but that's the state of the base right now. Things are getting crazy. We're doing all kinds of stuff. Where did you go in here? So, all right, guys. So that's pretty much where I'm going to call it an episode today. Thank you guys so much for hanging out through all this madness. We will get this base up and running and defending properly. And you know, I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I see the first part of the end game of part 1, before we get into the Frozen Factory expansion, which I will be doing. So stay tuned for that. Which reminds me, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button so you can see when we finally do get into the Frozen Factory. When I finally answer the question, what's wrong with the room? I don't know. We're going to have to go figure it out. It's telling me there's a red block somewhere. Well, I found the red block, but it doesn't really, I don't know. So I'll get down there. I'll check everything out. And with that, guys, we'll see you in the next one.